Tom Cochrane, Life is a Highway, streaming live audio online across the nation on www.onecast.in. That's numeral 1cast.in. On your radio sets in Mumbai City on 94.3 on the FM band. And only, statutory warning, if you're not driving, you're in the backseat of a radio taxi or a chauffeur-driven car, then we're streaming video live on facebook.com/HRI, facebook.com/radio1.mum. RADIOONE.MUM. Shikhandi, the play. The crew is in studio. It's Fats the Arts.
This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishikesh.
Hello, Faezeh Jalali. You stun audiences around the planet, and all of a sudden, you're a bit out of your depth as far as radio is concerned.
Yes.
Or you would have us believe, what rubbish. You're a consummate performer, and you're going to be just all right. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well. I'm really looking forward to come and see you guys perform.
Please, you must, Rishi.
So I'm given to understand that the inspiration for the play is from the Mahabharata.
It is.
Yeah. So for the uninitiated, just explain Shikhandi, the character.
So in the Mahabharata, Shikhandi is she's reborn as Shikhandi. In her past life, she was Amba, who wanted to take revenge on Bhishma for abducting her from her Swayamvar. It's a long story, as we know. Everything in the Mahabharata is like cause and effect. So something has to have happened 5 generations ago or 5 lives ago to have a revenge or something to finish in some life later. So Amba is reborn as Shikhandi. Of course, when she killed herself as Amba, she wanted to be reborn as a man to take revenge on Bhishma, but she's reborn as a woman, and but she's raised as a man by her father Drupad. And then on her wedding night, when her wife finds out that she's actually a woman and not a man, Shikhandi runs off into the forest and has a sex change magically and becomes a man. And hence, when she goes on the battlefield of Kurukshetra to fight for the Pandavas, Bhishma sees her and he sees that she's not completely man or woman because he recognizes her as Amba. And so she's able to and he doesn't lift his arrow to fight against her because she's standing in front of Arjun, and Arjun eventually is able to draw the arrow and kill Bhishma. So that very famous bed of arrows on which Bhishma kind of lies is because he would not fight against Shikhandi because she's standing in front of Arjun. So she kind of avenges her past life as Amba. So basically we've taken that story from the Mahabharata. I've taken it, I guess, and retold it, reworked it a little bit to make it contemporary in terms of even, it's still in the world of the Mahabharata, but the text, the English text, is in verse, and it's quite today. In that sense, it's very contemporary.
So Mahnaz Damania plays the principal protagonist, which is Shikhandi.
Yes.
Welcome to the show, yo. How are you doing?
Good. Nervous a little.
You're
I've never done this before.
But really, I read a newspaper article in which they were just raving about your performance, and there was a bit of an interview where you were asked some questions about this particular part. So to expose radio audiences to it couldn't have been easy. The most difficult one you've ever done? Yeah, in your life,
most
perhaps?
Definitely. Yeah, absolutely. So the thing is, Faezeh has done so much research when she wrote this play. So whenever I felt stuck or I had any questions, I could go to her with them, and that was really helpful. And also, the play is the expression is physical. So there's a lot of there's a lot of running around. There's a lot of fitness involved. So as it is in all of Faezeh's plays. So all of those challenges we kind of but we work through them because we also the language, the body language is very it's very Indian. So all of us are not Srishti is a trained Indian dancer, but a lot of us aren't. And so doing the Yakshagan workshop at in Udupi, and then also training in Kudiyattam, we had Ranjit sir.
Yeah.
We had Ranjit sir come down to Bombay to sort of have a workshop for 10 days.
This is Ranjit ho?
Chakyar.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was really helpful. Yeah. That's not it.
And this is not what they teach you at Stella Adler.
No, this was actually.
Sorry, I had to squeeze that in.
So Adler has been my only.
1 second, sorry.
That's fine.
For those of you who don't know, she went to Stella Adler, which is why that
I
thing came in
studied at
there.
the Stella Adler, New York, 2010 to 2012, and that has been my only actual training in the craft. But I felt like I was at a little bit of a loss again, because I brought up the the Indian body language and things, and when I was in college and things, I used to train in Western forms of dancing. So it was very interesting for me to learn, how to hold an Indian body. Which, of course, I did not learn at Adler, but like I said, the workshops were really helpful.
Good on you, yeah, awesome. And Shrishti Shrivastava plays Amba and Draupadi. Is there a Vastrahan? There is a Vastraharan? No?
There's a little bit of
There's a mention of it.
There's a mention of it.
Yeah.
I'm thoroughly disappointed. But anyway, so I'm just joking. So, Shrishti, you would know from Galiapa. Vinay is extremely excited holding the camera as he is filming, because he's a big fan of yours, by the way.
Really?
Yeah. So now he's not even turning the camera towards you. He is just so embarrassed. So he's blushing, So
He's really not. What the hell?
but he's 23 and you're 24. Does that really matter these days? It doesn't.
It doesn't matter at all. I'm much older than my age,
You are. So what is this dance form that you do? I mean, she said that you dance Indian classical.
I'm trained in Bharatnatyam, and I was for about 6 years when I was really young. So I've always been a dancer, and then in college and school I continued dancing through other Indian dance forms like Gadwali and some other folk forms. That's all. And then because of Shikhandi, I got to do Kudiyattam and Yakshagan, which was lovely. So yeah.
And there are elements of Bharatnatyam that you're using.
Yeah, some bits.
Yeah.
The stance is very similar in all these dance forms. So in Bharatnatyam also you're sitting in a squat. In not Yakshan, Kudiyattam also you're sitting in a squat. So it's similar in some way or the other.
The South Indians make you squat a lot.
I don't want to talk about anybody.
He's like, there's no problem. Let's be racist.
I'm just being racist. I'm being clannish actually, because
you
if
are.
I'm South Indian, I'm saying that, I'm being clannish. Okay, we're going to listen to Don Henley, The Boys of Summer, and then Meher is going to come onto the show. So hang by a couple of minutes, yo. Don Henley used to be part of the Eagles, a band called the Eagles, and this is solo Don Henley, The Boys of Summer. Okay. Tickets for Shikhandi, the story of the in-betweens, going out now. This is at the Experimental Theatre on Friday at 7:30 p.m. You get a couple pass. So if you answer this correctly, if you're the first to do so across social networking and SMS, you get a couple pass to go 7:30 p.m. Experimental Theatre. Yeah, that's at the NCPA complex. Who wrote the Mahabharata? Really simple. It's an adaptation of the story of Shikhandi from the Mahabharata. Who wrote the Mahabharata? One space, the name of the writer, space, your name. Type it and send it to 53650. 53650 is the in-studio SMS line. On Twitter as well as Facebook, you go to the search bar, you type HRISHIKAY. I'll pop up. You could tweet out the answer along with your name, post in the timeline inbox along with your name, and facebook.com/radio1.mum, our official page. There again, pop the answer on the timeline inbox, and maybe you and a partner will go. We're talking to the crew, Fats the Arts, in studio.
This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishikesh.
Hello, Meher. How are you?
Hrishi?
Does it feel, Meher is Acharya, and we go back a long way. We used to, we were colleagues at a radio station in another lifetime. Does it feel nostalgic at all, coming back into a radio studio?
Of course, come on.
And you were one of the good ones, man.
Oh, thank you.
Why does the world of theatre have to pick on the good ones on radio? We lose all the good radio talent to theatre.
It's hard to do theatre and radio
That's
together.
something. That says a lot about theatre and very little about radio.
It's so hard to juggle rehearsals and shows and still run a radio show. So
Yeah,
you
I
know
can
how
understand.
hard it is.
So tell me about your contribution to Shikhandi. What do you play?
So I'm the female narrator. We have a male and female narrator. I'm the female narrator, and it's kind of revealed at the end who the male and female narrator are. So I'm not going to say that right now. You have to come and discover. And they're actually the sutradhars of the story, and they're there, and they're the little puppet masters, and they're making things happen. But they're also telling you the story, and they're giving you the backstories, and they're giving you the reference to context. So it's a wonderfully fun character, lovely punchlines, lots of humor. So it's just all round fun.
I mean, it's a question I could easily ask Srishti too. You know, what brings mainstream stars like you? Because you guys are regular mainstream stars now. You too. I see you in all these movies, and I'm like really happy. Saying, that's my friend. What keeps bringing you back to the theatre? What is it that it does to you?
So I would say that I'm always in theatre, and I kind of jump to doing ads and films.
Yeah, the money doesn't hurt, does it? Yeah.
No, of course not. Right? Somebody's got to pay your taxi fare to the rehearsal. So something's
or to the interviews.
Or to the interviews. Right. So I just think it's the craft, right? It's the joy of just being on stage and just really putting in like months of hard work, like we did with Shikhandi. We put in 8-10 months, and we were all around the country. We were in Udupi, and we had workshops in Bombay. So just the entire process of and honestly, 25-28 years of theatre, I haven't done anything like a show like Shikhandi. So for me, I was
wow, that's saying a lot.
I was completely pushing my boundaries. I mean, theatre now is so stayed in the sense that, you know, you have scenes and you have acts, and you have very flat proscenium style acting, and then, you know, here comes Shikhandi. We've put the audience in the round. We're performing in the center. We have audience on all four sides. We have people flying up. We have people jumping down from the catwalks. It's a spectacle. It's really epic. It's really good. So for me, it was I was definitely pushing my boundaries, pushing my fitness levels, pushing my stamina, because regular shows don't expect you to, you know, do 10 Surya Namaskars and then say, come on, let's also do 40 squats, and let's also do right. You work with Faezeh, and all of a sudden you need to be in kick-ass shape.
Yeah,
you know? And
it's not like those Bauer friends of yours in the class act and things like that.
Yeah, no.
Where the focus seems to be on the eating and the having fun at rehearsal.
At a Baba rehearsal, very, very, very simply, it's the eating.
Now, all of this is coming across very wrong for Faezeh. You know, so we have to set the record straight. You know, everybody says, "My God, she's pushing us into, you know, all these calisthenics and this and that." You seem like a regular nice girl. You know?
I'm a nice girl.
No, but the form.
Yeah.
But the form of theatre in particular, what you do with Shikhandi, I mean, there's no set template. I mean, it's just stuff that it's obviously also something that's ingrained in you.
Yeah.
So talk to me about the form. I mean, this is amazing. Using classical dance and, you know, like she said, somebody falling off the top and things like that. Yeah.
It's like a video game. Yeah. No, for me, basically, I tell a lot of people that I work with that theatre is like, we have to treat it like a sport. You'll never see a cricketer just like show up for his game, or a football player just show up for their game. They've practiced that thing billions of times so that they can go and perform, right? And theatre has to be that. It has, for me, because the body is also the text. When you watch, you're watching even the body. So if the body is like loose and falling apart, it's not engaging to the audience, because it's a very visual medium. It is a physical medium. I myself, I feel that is the training that we need. And with Shikhandi, it was a little bit of an experiment, because we wanted to use the Indian physical forms with English very contemporary text. And when we started it doesn't fit in the body, because Indian forms fit with Indian languages. And English text fits with very Western style, and so we had to like really find that in the body, you know. So that language that we had to create for Shikhandi was a bit of like pushing and pulling and finding that. But for that, everybody has to be at a level of fitness to be able to engage in that, to be able to to be in a squat, in the Indian squat, and do the mudras, but also speak this text that is like, like this is the story of a woman or a man, and you're doing all this, all these mudras. So it's kind of like trying to fit this jigsaw puzzle. Like actually, you're creating the jigsaw puzzle yourself rather than just fitting pieces. You're actually making it happen. So I think I find it really important that the actors that we work with are really fit. I guess.
So Shrishti, aching bones after rehearsals?
I'm actually pretty good. What? No, because it's a lot of fun working with Faezeh because we're always ready. For rehearsal, for shows, and it doesn't happen with other plays that I have worked with. Not so much. Everything is different there. But with Faezeh, all of us, when we come for rehearsal, we say, aaj karenge. Today we are going to have fun. So that's a good thing. And it keeps us going, and she always pushes us, which is very important. Otherwise, we'll just get bored of the show. We've done 25 shows. We will be finishing 25 shows.
Oh, wow. So you're going into your 25th, yeah?
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Very.
Silver Jubilee.
The show is older than Srishti.
Oh yes! By 1 year.
Oh, God!
Nice one. Okay, just a mandatory. We're streaming audio online all across the nation. www.onecast.in, numeral1cast.in. So if you're listening to this on the radio and you have friends all over the country and you want them to, you think it's exciting enough for them to hear, then onecast.in. We're on Bombay Radio Sets 94.3 on the FM band, and we're streaming video live on facebook.com/HRISHIKAY. We come back post David Guetta and Flames, more conversation. Hot current hit, the Australian artist Sia with David Guetta, super Spanish producer, Flames at 9:29. Many congratulations, Rishabh. Your last 4 digits are 8482. And for those of you who are watching us on video, we're live on Instagram at HRISHIKAY. So, Rishabh, congratulations, the 8482. Yes, Sri Ved Vyas wrote the Mahabharat. And Priya, your last 4 digits are 7244. You said Vyas, and that's good enough for us. So 2 winners from SMS already out. You go to the Friday showing at the Experimental Theatre, 7:30 p.m. Many congratulations. So Crystal from Radio 1 Contest will call you as soon as the show is over. Across to you, yeah? In conversation with the team of Shikhandi. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Please go and watch. It's called Shikhandi, the story of the in-betweens. And there's a very important conversation that needs to happen on gender diversity. I'm going to talk about that right now. Incidentally, they won the Ladli Media Award for Gender Diversity in Theatre 2016-2017. And also a runner-up at the Sultan Padamsee Playwriting Awards. Fantastic. And they opened at the NCPA in March, and they're leading up to their 25th show.
This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishikesh.
So, these are things that, Mahnaz, we don't think about in the everyday rut of life. Mm-hmm. But sometimes, and you're very lucky that your profession has thrown this your way, that, you start having a conversation on gender diversity. Talk to me about how much you've changed as a person and your attitude towards trans people post working in and as Shikhandi.
It's the smaller things. Actually, I've become more conscious about how I say certain things. Actually, Faezeh's brought this up once before. Like, we're so quick to say, "Oh my God, that's so gay," or something like that, and we don't realize how we actually in our day-to-day lives use it in a derogatory sense. Even if it's just like as a joke, or even if it's just to throw away the phrase, But we tend to do that, and I don't think we realize how much we affect our own psyche with these small things on a day-to-day basis. So for me, that is one very tangible sort of change that I feel. And I don't know, I just generally, working on something that has to do with the LGBTQ community has been something that's always been on my sort of bucket list to check off as an artist. And when I found out that Faezeh was going to do the auditions for Shikhandi and everything, I was mad excited. I think all of us generally are when she puts out her audition calls. But specifically for Shikhandi, because I'd had a chat with her about, I didn't even know the character of Shikhandi till, honestly, that I had the chance to work on it. And I didn't know that much about the Mahabharata either. It's only when I started doing more research and I started reading up more that I realized there are so many stories in the Mahabharata that have to do with gender diversity and that have to do with, say, a man getting married to a man, or a woman having a child with a woman magically. So, like, these are concepts that have actually been a part of our sort of our tradition, our culture, our very being, that we've kind of ignored or warped or just changed with, I don't know, a lot of hatred and a lot of malice, and it's just become this sort of, finger pointing thing, like, nahi, in logon ka to aise hota hai aur in logon ka to waise hota hai, that kind of thing. So for me to be more conscious towards, to be more conscious towards the things I'm saying and I'm doing, or the way I'm behaving towards someone that might identify differently, has been, like, it's been an advantage. I don't know, it is an advantage, I feel.
Yeah, very well said. But you've also, I'm given to understand, used humor at strategic points, just to perhaps break in the flow, because at the end of the day, you don't want this conversation to be incredibly serious, Faezeh.
So I, like, right before this, we did a play called 777 about this Iranian woman who was imprisoned. And that was pretty dramatic and dark and stuff like that. And the story of Shikhandi, I think also from the place that I am as a performer, because I'd created Shikhandi as a one-woman show, a 20-minute, one-woman show. I think I like to present things in a way that are fun, but also poignant, I guess, make a point. And also, I think because humor has this great effect of being able to show you a mirror, and say, oh, ha, ha, I'm laughing, oh, but I do these things, you know what I mean? So in Shikhandi, a lot of that is used, is like, where derogatory words are used, and then people laugh at it, but then when you laugh at it, you also are like, oh my God, what am I laughing at? Am I laughing at these boys bullying a person who's not male-ish or not very masculine? So I think it's just putting up a mirror, I think, and humor does that really well, because you can laugh at it and then also, like, become conscious of the fact that you could be the person, any of these characters in the play. So you're able to laugh at it but also identify with it, and I think that's what humor does really well.
So, Meher, in terms of being the narrator, you did say that it's almost like an alter ego. There are two voices, is it? And these are both Shikhandi's voices. Or are they two separate voices which are not Shikhandi's voice?
No, these aren't Shikhandi's voices. The male and female narrator are, they kind of form the crux of the story, because they're talking about Shikhandi and about her backstory and how they actually take the story forward and they tell you what's happening. But in a way, they're also masterminding the whole thing in the sense that they're the puppet masters. So they're not Shikhandi's voices, because we have Amba and we have Shikhandi and we have Stuna, who's a magical yaksha, forest creature, who Shikhandi actually changes gender with magically in the forest, and these three form the crux of who Shikhandi is in the play.
And just set the context for Amba's character. We all know Draupadi, but
yes,
who was Amba?
So Amba was Amba is basically Shikhandi's past life, and she, in the play, she's very dramatic and very filmy, but the point is that Bhishma abducted her and then wanted her with her sisters Ambika and Ambalika, and wanted her to get married to his brother, right? And then she already had a lover. She wanted to be with someone else, and the thing is, he was like, okay, you go and marry him. And she doesn't get to marry him because he feels that she's touched by him. So she's just juggling between two men who don't want to be with her. So she gets extremely upset with it. Oh wow, life. Oh no.
That is definitely the line of the interview. You perhaps might make a promo out of it. Yeah. So continue.
So anyway, then so she's just juggling between two men and she doesn't know what to do, and she wants to be married because that's how things are, that's how things are supposed to be. And then she decides, I will kill Bhishma. So then she kills herself. So she's reborn as a man to kill Bhishma. But then, yeah.
So but basically she does tapasya.
Ah,
and then
yes.
Shiva comes to her and
Oh,
says,
yes.
I can't do anything right now because Bhishma has basically sworn celibacy. So he has the blessings of all the gods and everybody.
Yeah,
and if you're celibate, you're like this pure thing. But of course, even in the Mahabharata, like nobody is invincible, right? So even though Bhishma is supposed to be like, he can choose his time of death, it cannot be forever. So she has to come back to be the cause of his death.
Yeah.
Okay, so another opportunity for you to win yourself couple passes. This is for the Saturday 7:30 showing at the Experimental Theatre of Shikhandi. Really simple. I want to see how carefully you've been listening to this interview. Faezeh Jalali's theatre group, the theatre company she founded, what is it called? What is the name of the theatre company? One space, the name of the theatre company, space your name, type it and send it to 53650 on SMS. Twitter and Facebook, it's HRISHIKAY on the search bar. You could tweet out with your name, post in the timeline inbox with your name, and facebook.com/radio1.mum. Faezeh Jalali's theatre group. These ladies are putting up Shikhandi. It is part under the aegis of the theatre group that Faezeh founded. The name of the theatre group along with your name on the timeline inbox. You're not going to hear us for another 10 minutes because we're going to some messages and then a song. So see you in a bit and keep yourself busy with those contests, yeah?
94.3 Radio 1.
Katy Perry, Chained to the Rhythm. At 9:46, we have only one winner this time around. It wasn't that difficult a question. It's just that perhaps you guys have not been listening very carefully, or you're not bothered to do a Google. Nah, I'm going to scold you. Yeah, so Pooja Punjabi on Twitter at HRISHIKAY got it right. It's Fats the Arts. Congratulations, Pooja. Saturday, 7:30 p.m. showing. A partner and you are going to go. So Crystal from Radio 1 Contest will get in touch with you. Meher is here. Shrishti is here. Mahnaz is here. And Faezeh. They are the Fats crew. And we're talking Shikhandi. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 4 days of showing. Sunday, there are 2 shows, 4 and 7:30. I'm going to repeat that. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. On Sunday, there are 2 showings, 4 and 7:30. The rest of the days is just 7:30. Tickets are at bookmyshow.com and tickets are at the NCPA box office. Also, there are further chances for you here to win yourself a couple passes. So keep it tuned. More conversation.
This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishikesh.
Radio 1.
Speaking of awards, you have some big nominations.
Yeah.
How many nominations, Faezeh? This is the Theatre Excellence Awards.
Yeah, Mahindra Excellence in Theatre Awards, which happens every year. So this year for Shikhandi, we've got 8 nominations. Best Production, Best New Script, Best Female in the Lead Role, Best Supporting Female and Male, Best Costume, Choreography, and one thing that I'm missing.
Ensemble, direction.
Ensemble, Best Ensemble Cast.
So, choreography is you.
I guess, yeah, but Sangeeta Rajan has got the nomination who sort of choreographed the Bharatnatyam bit. So it's always all the work that we do is always collaborative.
Lovely. So you can't pinpoint one person.
Yeah, but
It's nice. All of you go up on stage
no,
together.
but Sangeeta's got the nomination. I mean, it's
Okay, and costumes are by?
Malaika Chaudhary.
And who is nominated in the acting categories? Which of these ladies?
Mahnaz, Srishti, and Tushar Pandey and Vikrant Dhoti. So we have two male supporting casts who've been nominated. Srishti has been nominated for Best Female Supporting Cast, and
For
Mahnaz.
what? For Amba or Draupadi? What? You don't know. Anybody's guess.
Like everything.
And Mahnaz for Best Female Lead.
Well done, you guys.
Yeah.
I can see a substantial number of trophies lighting up your your cabinet or whatever it is. Okay, the rest of the cast who are not represented here, and it's completely my fault because I said 3-4 people, but you have other cast members and very exciting cast members.
Yes.
So who are they?
So we have Tushar Pandey and Nakul Bhalla who are sharing the male narrator roles. We have Nikhil Murli, who plays Bhishma and Drupad. We have Karan Desai, who plays the Yaksha King. We have Vikrant Dhote, who plays the Yaksha who gives his genitalia away.
That's okay, yeah.
And we have Abhishek Chauhan and Kartavya Antwal Sharma, who are also sharing shows, who play Arjun, one of the Pandavs, and also part of the ensemble. Our musicians for these shows are Sriram Rajan, Anadi Nagar, and Shalaka Deshpande. Our music composer is Satish Krishnamurthy, who's not going to be playing for these shows, but that's basically our cast. But we have a huge we have riggers, and we have our backstage people, so it's a big cast. But these are all the people who actually make everything happen. It can't be like I can't do the show without everybody.
Sure. And Meher, enough has been said about all the calisthenics and the exercise and, the toll on the bodies. But in terms of dialogue, what kind of dialogue writing is there in Shikhandi? I mean, when you're talking gender conversations, you've got to tone it right. So what kind of dialogues?
So the lingo is today it's very contemporary, it's very modern, it's the way you and I speak. And what's interesting is it's a 90-minute show written completely in verse.
Yeah.
Wow.
The entire
should have been said at the top.
The entire show is written in verse. So everything rhymes. And I'd say there's a punchline every alternate line. It's
Jeez,
really
man,
fun.
we've got to make the ladies do a couple of lines. So without any expletives for radio.
yeah,
We don't want notices from the Prasar Bharati. So what are we going to do? Come on now, Srishti. Come on now, Mahnaz. Let's do it. Couple of lines.
Which one?
The first ones.
I'm tired of these.
Come on, no, don't cow footage on radio.
yeah.
Come.
No, we were actually thinking kaun sa part jisme enough dialogue hai, exchange वैसे. Oh God, I'm so nervous. I don't know who I am. Am I a woman or really a man? Shikhandi, get yourself together. You're a man, you know that. But how can I hide this from my wife? She'll find out for sure on our wedding night tonight.
Find out she didn't. Here's how. Wait, there she comes now.
My heart is beating.
So elegantly poised, with a head so gracefully bowed.
Keeps on repeating. I'm tired of being so shy. This facade of being a newlywed Indian bride. I can't wait to undress, have his hands on my breast, feel him caress. What if he's a biter? Ooh, I feel like a tiger.
My heart is beating.
It changes every show.
It changes.
Yeah.
That depends on Srishti's improvisation.
Yeah.
She sings different songs.
That is really funny.
That's the wedding night.
Okay, mandatories. We're streaming video live. Statutory warning only if you're not driving, on Twitter and Periscope at HRISHIKAY. Still streaming audio online across the nation on www.onecast.in, numeral 1cast.in, and 94.3 on the FM band on your radio sets. Now, we have a couple pass going out for the Sunday showing. Yeah, Sunday 7:30 p.m. at the Experimental Theatre. It's really simple, okay? Because I tested you with the last question. I'm going to make this really simple. So Srishti plays Amba and Draupadi. Draupadi had how many husbands? Yeah, just the number. How simple is that? So one space the number, space your name, type it and send it to 53650. 53650 is the SMS line. On Twitter as well as Facebook, it's HRISHIKAY, and facebook.com/radio1.mum. So you can pop the answer on the timeline or inbox along with your name. And actually, if I get a lot of response for this, I might even give out more passes, but that won't be for the Sunday showing. It'll probably be for the Friday or Saturday, because I have more passes for those days. So come on, get cracking on your answers. The New Radicals, you get what you give. It's 9:53. I'm going to be able to squeeze in one more talk section, so hang by for that. It's actually a singer-performer called Greg Alexander. He chooses to call himself New Radicals. You get what you give. 9:58. Anmol G. Mehta. Number of husbands, he says 1 to 5. Full chance like that. No, but I'll give it to you technically. So you've won on Facebook. So if you could just reply wherever you've said 1 to 5, if you could just reply with your number, then Crystal from Radio 1 Contest will call you. So Anmol Mehta, you go to the Saturday showing, and Sunday one couple pass goes to Dhillon, who incidentally said Faezeh Jalali wrote the Mahabharata, incidentally. But right now, you've got the correct answer. Dhillon, it's 5. Yes, 5 husbands for Draupadi. 3978 are your last 4 digits. So congratulations. You go for the Saturday showing. And from Twitter, we've got 2 winners. And both of you get Friday couple passes. Aditya Mehta, who said 5, and Sadhana Daswani. Sadhana, Aditya, congratulations. And Crystal from Radio 1 Contest will get in touch with you. A last leg of conversation with Faezeh Jalali, Srishti, Meher and Mahnaz. Shikhandi plays out Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And it's only $500. So you should go. It's at the Experimental. 2 showings on Sunday, 4 and 7:30 p.m. Tickets are also at bookmyshow.com and the venue.
This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishikesh.
Toughest scene. A scene that you really took a lot of time to wrap your head around, and you know, it still gives you butterflies in your stomach, saying, how am I going to tackle this one? Mahnaz.
So there's this bit with Drupad, my dad, who is played by Nikhil Murli, and there's this major sort of crisscross going on. So it's actually three scenes that we've sort of put together, and within that there's this one bit where my father tells me for the first time that I was not born a man, even though he raised me in full denial, and even though I thought I grew up a boy when actually I was a girl. So like that is the first time Shikhandi realizes that, hang on, my dad knew and he made the choice, sort of mess things up with me, and my entire life has been living this sort of lie that he chose for me because he couldn't deal with the fact that he had a daughter. I mean, again, that is a theme which rings true to date. Like, oh my God, I have a daughter. What am I gonna do? I don't have a son. You know. So anyway, so it was that scene that I don't know. Like, both of us kind of found really hard. Even Faezeh used to keep telling us, she's like, no, it needs to be at a certain place, where we kept trying to take it, and I think that's the one that took at least me the longest. And I'm pretty sure even now, there are certain days in rehearsal when like, I don't know, it's not like I don't feel it, but like sometimes, like, if it just doesn't come together, then like, something's missing, so like that kind of that bit where I have that confrontation with my dad for the first time was pretty difficult. And
Faezeh, you've been traveling with this play. Yeah. What have reactions been like? People coming backstage, reacting, all of that.
People have... See, the thing is, mostly the people who come and meet you backstage come because they really love it. Like if somebody absolutely hated it, I haven't had that. But most people have come and said they've really liked it. They've really enjoyed the way the story has been told, but also the themes that have been talked about, which has to do with gender, sexuality, patriarchy, all of that. People have really, and because it's done through humor, people have been able to enjoy it, but also get the point of why the story is being told. So I think most of all of our reactions have been positive. I mean, unless somebody sees it and sends us a message, I have not got like negative reactions on it. So yeah.
And especially people from the LGBTQ and trans community. I mean, if they saw it, I imagine it would touch a wonderful part of their core. Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of people who are part of the community or not, like, have really enjoyed it. Of course, I've had close friends from the LGBTQ community question some things, but I also feel that the whole the space around the LGBTQIA community is constantly changing. So something that may sound right to me may not always sound right to somebody else from the same community, for example, or somebody might have a bone to pick about certain words or certain ways in which things are being told. But we're really open to dialogue about that, in fact. And on Thursday and Friday after the show, we will be having conversation with some school kids who are coming to watch the show.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So,
that's wonderful.
Yeah, we're really open to dialogue about it. We're not here to insult, but it's always about communication and talking about it. So yeah, our reactions have been great, and people who've been close to us have picked on nitpicky things, but yeah.
So, Srishti Shrivastava, world famous that you are, with the viral fever and Girl Yapa, that sounds or looks like as though you guys have some incredible fun putting it out. So, how are things on the set?
It's amazing because our very first video for Girl Yapa, for Girl Yapa, it was an all women cast and crew. So the director was a woman, the DOP was a woman, the ADs were women, the actors were women, And it was because that was the point of Girl Yappa, that all of us get together and put out stuff. Obviously now there are other people as well, but it's mad fun because the scripts are amazing. And whenever I go to TVF, I'm like, yes, I want to do this. And it's worked very well for me, and I enjoy it so much. Yeah.
Lovely. Okay, ladies, it's time to go. But before that, Meher shall give a wonderful plug in her excellent international voice. Voiceover artist, radio presenter, BBC radio plays, mainstream Bollywood star. Come on now. Shikhandi playing where? Shikhandi playing where? And timings and everything.
Right. So, Shikhandi is presented by Fats the Arts. It's being performed at the Experimental Theatre, the NCPA Complex, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday at 7:30 p.m. We have 2 shows on Sunday, 4 and 7:30. So that's a matinee on Sunday. And tickets are only 500 rupees. It's 90 minutes without an interval. The entire play is in verse. And yes, it's in English, because that's the question we always get. Shikhandi, अरे English में है क्या? अरे हाँ, English में है.
Just to add, it's an NCPA production in association with Fats the Arts.
Yeah, lovely. So we've got all the mandatories right. Now listen, this is going to be a really throwaway kind of question, but it's just that we're feeling very, very nice. So we are going to do it. We just spoke to Srishti, and you have to tell me the name of her viral internet show. Give me the name of that, and I'll give you a couple pass to go and see Shikhandi. Yeah. Woo! So one space that. Now, if you don't get this, I'll get very, very angry. So one space the name of her online show. Space your name. Type it and send it to 53650. 53650 is the in-studio SMS line. On Twitter and Facebook, you go to the search bar. You type HRISHIKAY. You could tweet out, post on the timeline inbox, and facebook.com/radio1.mum. Pop the name of the show on the timeline inbox along with your name, and you and a partner will go. I've just loved this morning being surrounded by 4 powerful, beautiful, empowered women. Thank you very much. Faezeh,
Thank you so much for having
Srishti
us,
and
Hrishi.
Meher. Cheers.
Always a pleasure.
Up ahead, the T20 Premier League, some contests for you to win in terms of movie tickets, lots to come on the show, and some sport other than cricket, which means our football update for what happened over the weekend as far as the English Premier League is concerned, what's happening in the Champions League. You want to hang by for that.
94.3 Radio 1